Last time on Surviving Maine, 19 contestants set off into the Maine woods to compete for the title of sole survivor. While the Skidder tribe had 10 members, the Lombard tribe started with only 9 when their 10th member, Karen, failed to show up. Michael found a clue for a hidden immunity idol during a challenge on day 1, but told his entire tribe about it.
And your next challenge.
And your next challenge.
We just gotta make sure Skidder tribe gets that and not the Lombard tribe.
Right.
This idol, you wouldn't believe it. It is literally just hanging, this piece of bone, off our tent, and nobody's dealing with it.
Despite their disadvantage, Lombard won all 3 challenges and sent Skidder to tribal council. There, they decided to keep the over-talkative Forrest in order to take advantage of his physical abilities and voted out Sam. 18 players remain.
The first night it actually went by really fast. We built our shelter and had a fire. We all sat around the fire for a while.
I didn't sleep a lot. We had some snores. I'm going to systematically find out who they are tonight and muffle them in their sleep. But for the most part, it was pretty good. I think some slept really well. Some slept out or stayed out by the fire and kept it going all night.
Everyone went to sleep last night except me and Jazzy. We stayed up literally the whole night, and she didn't sleep at all. Cameron came out like a couple hours into the night and stayed with us the rest of the time, so it was just us 3 around the fire the entire night.
I didn't sleep. I definitely slept the least. I didn't sleep at all. I stayed up, tended the fire. Brandon stayed with me for the most part. He slept for like 10 minutes.
I tried to go to sleep and I just couldn't find anything comfortable, so I didn't end up sleeping really at all during the night. I probably got like a half an hour during the night, and then I was up just tending the fire with Jasmine and Brandon the whole night.
I feel like me and Brandon really like each other as people. I'm not sure if I can trust him or not. I feel like he's got his hand in a lot of different pots, and so I don't know. He keeps telling me like, you're my number one, but I don't know if I believe him. I'm just way too sketched out. I'm so paranoid I don't believe anybody. So, Team Jazzy. I only believe in myself.
Me and Jazzy definitely made a stronger connection. I feel like I definitely feel the best with her on the tribe right now. And then Cameron came out, so I feel good with them. However, me and Jazzy are definitely worrying about the fact that Nick, Cameron, and Jess go off together all the time. So we are not blind.
I have a good alliance, I believe, with Cameron. And my closest ally at this point is Jess. I'm good with Cameron and Brandon. And then to give us 5 to make sure I had the majority, I also have Jasmine as our 5th.
I just took a walk down to the porta potties with Jess and Nick, and they kind of filled me in on Jasmine and Sarah both made pretty obvious idol searches, and the other two seem a little concerned about that, which is a little worrying because they were in our core 6. And now they're already talking about, like, well, why don't we get rid of Sarah before we get rid of Patrick or someone like that. Patrick, who would definitely stay loyal to us. He seems super nice.
Oh, Patrick's the character. He calls himself Trekkie.
I earned my nickname Tricky because I was working one night at CVS and my manager said, oh, I'm doing this wrong, being very cocky, just cynical, and I'm like, quit acting high in your own supply. And I did it in a way that insinuated he had a weed problem. And so everyone heard it, and he's just like, I'm sick of your tricks, Tricky. And I'm like, I like that. And so I just went by it ever since.
So Tricky, he approached me about an alliance. So that is the only actual talk so far. It was nice because I didn't really want to have to start that conversation, but at the same time, it wasn't super discreet. We weren't that far back, so I was thinking if someone overheard, then that could potentially put a target on my back. Obviously, the 3 outliers are Tony, Tricky, aka Patrick, and Rebecca. So, but who knows? Who knows what people are saying behind my back? I watch this game way too much to feel safe. That's why I'm feeling really freaking paranoid.
The first thing I'm very proud of is I made the fire. So everyone was just like off getting wood and like fixing the lean-to, and I was just like, well, I'll just start doing the fire, because we had made the fire pit and we had a bunch of stuff in there. So I just started making it, and like it was like 30 seconds and it came up. It was great. I was worried about my social game because I am not someone who likes to scheme or lie, but that's actually turning out to not be a problem. Unfortunately, I've had to lie to one person. I was talking with Michael, and he asked me if his name had come up, and I said no, but it had come up. And so I felt really bad about that, but I kind of knew that he wasn't the one getting voted out, so I thought I might as well just not let him know that his name was brought up by somebody. This actually feels like a diary, a diary entry.
Kind of, yeah.
Because like I was like, I lied to Michael. Like I need to tell somebody.
This game so far is a lot harder than I thought. I haven't had a cigarette in like 10 hours. It's a lot harder mentally than I thought it would be, but it's a lot of fun. I don't really want to prove to myself that I can do it, so.
Yeah, so this morning I had a conversation with John and Becky going to the bathroom. I would love to work with her, but it just seems like it's very hard to talk to people individually when they just stay in groups all the time, and you can't talk to them individually, so it kind of sucks. But the thing about the idol is like, they want to leave it there. I don't know. I don't want to grab it because I know that they'll see it and they'll target me, so it's kind of like stupid. But if you grab it, you're just automatically target, and you're going to be distrusted 100%. You might not go home, but you're definitely going to be mistrusted.
So I just found out that people here have played the game before.
I played last year in D for Redemption.
And I didn't realize that coming into it, so I just got to keep my eye on them because they've got the experience knowledge already. So
Michael blew that one. Well, I did mention it to Toby that I had played, and you know, I wasn't going to talk about it openly, and then we got there and there was that board that we had the numbers and the game that we had played, and he was like, we played this last year, didn't we, Katie? And I was like, oh God, shut your mouth. So yeah, that kind of just, but everyone's been good about it. It's not like I went very far, so I've been trying to really exaggerate the fact that I did not go very far and it was a totally different game and all that. So I hope that will kind of keep that on the DL.
I'm getting really comfortable with Katie, and there's kind of a group of us that seem to be in agreement on sticking together.
I feel the most comfortable with Emily. She and I think, are the people, like, are a tight two. And then I feel pretty comfortable with Katie. Katie, Justin, and I are pretty tight as well. We had, like, gone to get water and go to the bathroom, and that was the first time I had done any like scheming was with those three.
Oh, I like Justin and Becky and Katie. I think they seem like a reasonable group of people.
I have a closer right now relationship with Toby and Justin. Emily is definitely a good asset to our team. She's ready to pitch in. She's got some good skills, and Becky.
So right now, the four are strong. Justin, Katie, me, and Emily. And then on the sides are Toby and John.
We think that, you know, if we all make it to merge, the more numbers that we have, the better we'll be. So we're trying to have a strong alliance here.
So right now, Justin and I are real tight. Justin's kind of the ringleader here. He comes to me, he goes to Katie. We kind of have a 3-person alliance right there. That's my understanding right now. Forrest is kind of in there too. My immune system will fight anything off. I must have been due for an oil change. Hey, besides, if I'm bleeding, just meant I was due for an oil change.
He's obviously a wild card, so he's not somebody that I'm going to game plan with. He'll get himself into trouble, and he'll go whenever we decide we want him to go.
Well, me personally, I don't have a lot of experience watching Survivor, and I'm pretty well adapted to the physical challenges, but the strategy part of this game, I know almost nothing about.
I mean, he actually knows them. He's really annoying, but like, he actually knows his stuff with the rope tying and he's got some of the foraging skills, so.
You know, as intense as Forrest can be, I kind of appreciate him, and I take his good qualities, definitely outweigh his bad, or his, over talkative self.
Lombard getting their first look at the Skidder tribe. Sam voted out at the first tribal council. All right, Nick, can you tell me about your reaction to noticing that Sam's gone today?
It's hard to give a big reaction because we don't know that tribe very well yet, and don't know what their personalities, how they clash. Curious on how the vote went, if it was an even split and it was a close one, or if it was all majority.
Lombard, does anybody else have a reaction or something to say?
We threw out a lot of guesses.
Yeah.
She wasn't who we guessed.
Do you want to throw out any names?
We thought it was going to be Forrest.
You wished it was going to be me.
And probably, no, the reason probably being is because you're the only name we know. We're like, the guy named Forrest.
So we are going to move into our next immunity challenge. For this challenge, we are going to have 3 people who are designated to balance beams. The first person doing the balance beam does the first balance beam. While you're on the balance beam, you have to untie the bag that's connected to it. If you fall off of the balance beam at any time, you will have to go back to the beginning and start over. Once you get to the end of the balance beam, you can drop, and you'll run down here and give the ball that's in the bag to the person who's standing at your ball maze. Then the second person goes, walks across the first balance beam, unties the ball on the second balance beam. Once that happens and the person who's managing the ball maze has all balls, they can start untying. There will be 2 people there who can untie, and they're going to be callers for the ball maze. Then there will be 4 people on each ball maze who are blindfolded. First tribe to get 1 ball through the ball maze wins immunity. All right, immunity! Survivors ready? Ready. Go! Jasmine's down. She's going to start over. Tony, make sure you're not touching that stuff. Both tribes trying a different strategy.
You got it, Tony.
Oh, his hand touched. Tony just touched.
All right, Tony, that's all right. You're getting it. You're getting it. That's all right, Tony. Take your time.
balls.
Okay, go down on your side. Oh, no. Okay, that's all right. That's okay.
Katie is leading her tribe through the first half of the Skitters ball maze.
Left, left, and up.
Okay.
Sarah finishing untying the last bag of the balls.
All right, ball on the board. Ball on the board now. Back down. Back down. Back down. Back down. Back down.
Okay.
Now, Nick down even further.
Easy.
And Jasmine up a little bit.
Skitter tribe is
Stay right there, that's good. Yep. So what are we doing?
All right, never mind. All right, yeah, let's try from this part. Jasmine down. Yep, there we go. You're good. Now. Up. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, everybody's level. Let's go back down just a little bit.
Just a heads up, in about 1 minute, we're going to allow one person from each tribe to take off their blindfold.
Right down.
Did you hear her? Like a medium down. Yeah.
Stay down. You got it.
Okay, that was good.
All right, in 5, 4,
Take it off.
one person, 3,
Becky down.
2, 1. One person may take off their blindfold. So callers, pick who that's going to be.
I think we should go up more. Like down.
Down more on your side. Yeah, actually down. If you guys can go down, do you like kind of crouch a little bit?
Us up a little.
And then Brandon just up slightly.
Okay.
Yep, yeah, just even less than that. That's perfect. Yep.
Okay.
All right, there we go. Stop.
Okay. Okay, level.
I don't know what level is. Is this level?
You're doing good.
Hold on. Wait, don't move until he gets his off. 4,
Which way are we going to go with it?
I think we need to go
2, 1.
Nick, we need to go.
I know.
Back to high. Yeah, good. We got it. We passed that one. Okay, stay high.
Yeah.
Stay high. All right, back to even. Back to.
Yeah, they get that figured out.
Nice. Yeah, we got the first part. All right. Okay, let's try and go that way then.
Back up. Sorry, I got another one.
All right, I'm going to count down for the next blindfold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next blindfold.
Wait. Your blindfold's off now.
Which way are we going?
We think we want to go this way, like fast.
Yeah, and now start quickly fast.
Yeah. Woo! Nice.
And we need to go that way. There's more than that way.
Nick slightly down.
So I would say Brandon and Jasmine.
Shoot up.
Just hold.
John up.
Yeah, John, you go up a little bit.
And Michael get down.
You're going to go up.
Michael get down. Okay, go on. I think we can do it.
Okay, once we go there, we'll hold it. Let's hold it. You guys come up once we get there.
Sending Skitter to the next tribal council. All right, Lombard, come get your immunity. Congratulations. That means Skitter will be going to their second tribal council. All right, so Lombard, you can go ahead and head back to camp. Skitter, I will see you at tribal council.
Now that we've lost again, we're having to snap together, and it seems like everybody but like 3 people are kind of all working together, which can't really last long, so people are going to start to realize that.
Michael is a survivor connoisseur.
Yes,
that's true. He knows what he's doing. He's going to get funky with the immunity idol after Jasmine goes.
It's a social game, though. Like, people have decided, mostly Justin has decided that Michael should be the one to go because he knows the game really well. He loves Survivor, and so he's a strategic threat.
Michael's a strategic player. We have the sort of open immunity idol. We don't want him to get suspicious.
Michael, people think are strategic, and I just think that's probably just who he is.
I personally don't think he's much of a threat, but then they're also saying that maybe I'm falling for him being not strategic. He doesn't have the best social game, so I'm not worried about that. But
Good enough to make you say he doesn't have a good social game.
all right, okay. It also worries me because I also love the game I show it more than they do, so that kind of worries me. Do you think these two are gonna vote for Michael?
They're on board with us.
I realized it was the water line. That makes me nervous.
Let's be honest, everyone should be scared of Justin and Katie, but for right now I'm working with them, so.
I'm taking Michael. You guys good with that? You good with that? You comfortable with that?
Safe.
Jasmine just asked to be voted out. She just said kids that wants to go.
Yeah, so it's our second tribal. First one was most people were on the same page. This one, it's tough. It's a little different than the regular Survivor because you don't have that time in between to plan, but we're running around just in the last 20 minutes trying to scheme and strategize. But Jasmine has expressed interest that she's wanting to go home
because she thinks that she knows she's on the chopping block and on the bottom, so she probably just wants to go home, see her kid, drink some coffee like we all want to do.
Well, I've turned out I'm not a survivor. I want to go home.
She thinks that she's on the block because Sam just got voted out and Sam was sort of her sidekick.
She doesn't really have that alliance that she had with Sam gone.
I just want to go home.
That type of person can really cause a lot of hardships in the team. So taking that aspect out of this game, I don't know if it's the biggest threat, but probably the biggest threat to the team.
I don't know how I'm not on the list to get booted out.
I haven't really been a part of any conversations. People have been telling me kind of who to vote. John is telling me to vote for Jasmine tonight because she wants to be voted out. I don't know if I can believe that or not because I could go home, but you never know, right? I never feel safe going to tribal councils. You never can.
To me and the people that I'm aligned with, it's down to Jasmine and Michael.
And either one of them, either one of them, he'll flip it a merge.
You know who can't make it to the merge is Forrest, because the whole other team knows him, and all his stories will be new to them, so they won't have the expressions that we have when he talks.
Gone to the hospital, had my back almost broke and stuff. They took x-rays and they came back to me and they're like, how are you not screaming in pain? And I'm like,
I have a high pain tolerance.
What good would that do?
Oh, I hear picture.
It's a stupid thing for anybody to go off the course at this point. It's way too early.
We got to keep our numbers. So when we do merge, that we can somehow.
Come on in, guys! Katie, can you tell me if there's any strategic threats you are seeing in the game so far?
I think that we're just trying to keep our numbers, and we're hoping that we can win some challenges so that we can stop having to eliminate people. So we're really trying to band together as a group to have numbers when anything changes, any merges happen.
I was going to say there's been a lot of talk about trying to stay strong into a merge, and if we don't win those immunity challenges, we're not going to be able to do that.
So, Michael, are you seeing any strategic threats?
Not really. I think we all pretty much are assessing as a group and going from there.
But how can you be assessing as a group if you have to vote somebody out?
That's a very good question. It just happens, I guess.
So there's one person who's not in this group then? Okay. Emily, are you seeing any...
Sorry, not to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
It could be me, though. You never know. It could be any one of us, you know?
Yeah. Emily, are you seeing any physical threats at this point in the game?
Oh, yeah. I mean, at this point, I think we all saw from the beginning that these guys are, strong, and some of the ladies as well. So sure.
Okay. Becky, what are your thoughts on idols in the game? Do you think they're out there?
Yeah. It'll be it'll be interesting to see how they're played. There's definitely probably different dynamics going on. I would be curious to know if there were any around camp.
Justin, at this point, do you see any alliances forming?
I mean, I think our whole group is an alliance at this point. We're just trying to eliminate the weakest players going into the merge, and someone's gonna, we're gonna have to get rid of somebody when the time comes. But I mean, I think that the whole team is an alliance at this point.
Forrest, do you see any alliances?
No. Me, as I've told these people, at this point we've camped together, we've lived together, we've suffered together, we've competed together. We're kind of more than friends. We're almost more like family.
Is there anything else you want to say before we vote? No? All right. Justin, you're up.
Sounds better, that one.
Anybody has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Okay, I'll read the votes. First vote, Jasmine. Second vote, Michael. That's one vote Jasmine, one vote Michael. Third vote, Michael. It's 2 votes Michael, 1 vote Jasmine. Fourth vote, Michael. That's 3 votes Michael, 1 vote Jasmine. Michael. That's 4 votes Michael, 1 vote Jasmine. And the second person voted out of Surviving Maine, Michael. You can grab your stuff and your torch. Okay. The tribe has spoken.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Disappointed to be going home, but it's not really surprising. We'll have a lot of conversations, and I have a very difficult time being upfront with people. Like, I'm basically starting conversations. I'm not a very big, what's the word? You know what the word is?
Socializer.
Yeah, I'm not a very good social person. I'm very socially awkward. So to make alliances with pretty much everyone in the game is hard for me to do. So I pretty much gather like 2 or 3 allies and I go from there. And sometimes people don't like that. Some people do. It just depends.
Sorry, buddy. You are far smarter and more strategic than anybody has imagined so far. At least that's what I think. Might be. I don't really have any thoughts on. Probably bad.
Tonight, my vote is for Michael. I have a lot of survivor knowledge, but the physical challenges are really wearing our team down. So, Michael, this one's for you.
All right, Michael,
I'm very sorry. I tried to defend you for at least one more tribal council, but people have their ideas and they stick with them. And I'm sorry that we did this on your birthday. Very sorry.